Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Asel. It's a pleasure to finally be here. I was supposed to come here earlier today, but I had some disruptions. So, as Asel mentioned, I'm part of the Global Association of Risk Professionals. We are a professional body, and our main mission is to build global standards in the field of risk management and also to encourage education. So my talk today is going to be to help you understand how global international professional qualification fit with lifelong learning. So first of all, we are all talking about lifelong learning and continuing professional education, but why do we need a lifelong learning culture? So I've taken that picture. You may have seen it. It was on many newspapers, at least in Europe, recently. So that's a picture that has been taken by the scientist Stefan Olsen. It was taken on June 13, and we have the impression that it's not Photoshop. We have the impression that those dogs are actually walking on the water. The true fact is global warming and all the warnings around it. So when you look at the melting of the ice, it usually goes from June to August in Greenland. This was taken in West Greenland. And here, actually, the fact was that already 40% of the melting was done mid-June. So that picture actually shows that the world is changing. It's changing very fast. It's changing in many ways. Climate is one, technology is one, education as well. And this creates also some fears and insecurity. So that's the first thing with why we need continuing professional education. The second one is disruption. We see a lot of innovation, things are changing, the market players are changing as well, the products, everything is being new, and we really need to adapt to it. Globalization is one as well. It's been going on for a long time. There is a high competition. And this competition is also relevant when it comes to the skills and what are the knowledge that the people need for the industry to be competing and for your own firm. So all the employees now are asked to be agile. So we mentioned this T-shape. So you're not only specialized in one field anymore. You need to be very diversified. So when we talk about agility, is really, how do you adapt quickly and easily to either internal and external environments, and this until, without losing your momentum and focus. So to react to this, it requires from both employers and individuals to increase their skills and knowledge in this fast-changing knowledge economy. So we talk about sustainable development. So the way we do things, we need to think of the futures. So the planet won't survive if it's not a learning planet. So that's also really the mind where the industry and the leading companies and the individuals need to be thinking about. So we really need to build these new learning cultures, adapting the values, adapting the practice, and encourage both individual and organization as a whole to positively impact the business of the future. So this is where continuing professional education fits. We cannot control where the world is going, but we can control how we're going to be reacting to it. So that's where the topic of today fits. So how do international professional certification are going to be supporting this lifelong learning? So we know that traditionally we all go, most of all, we're going to be going to university. Your university degree can be very good, but at some point in your work life, you're going to have to be filling gaps because what you have learned may not be up to date anymore, or because depending on the industry you're working on, depending on your firm, the way it's innovating, you're going to have to adapt yourself. And as we mentioned before, it's not only the technical knowledge, it's also how do you work with your colleagues? What are also the soft skills that you need to perform at your job? So I've put together, in general, what are the main benefits for people taking international qualification, and what it is as well at the industry level. So for individual, it's like to be aware, to be filling gaps on a regular basis. It's also a global recognition. Most of our institutions that are represented here really offer you a stamp. It's like a passport for international career. Anyone who has taken the same designation in another country has exactly the same level of knowledge as you do. It also, the idea is for you to start initiating changes for your country, for your company, and the industry. The format of this certification is also very flexible to help people that are currently working to be able to take it. It's also a way to go for a career chance. From the industry point of view, it's really to set up global standards, be really practice-oriented. It's a way as well to license and make sure it's sometimes the case with regulators, for example, to make sure that people on certain jobs have a certain level of understanding and knowledge. We also see that compared to, there is not always pre-selection to get into this qualification. It's also a way to help candidates to have equal chance in the industry and really to build this network of expert and agile employees. So how do we build lifelong learning? So I'm going to be presenting how we do at GARP. So there are three main steps. So the first one is obviously to build the global standard. The second one is to build the continuing professional education program. And the last one is to build the community. So let's start with the global standards. So how do we do it concretely? How do we make sure that this qualification is valid and is up to date? So we build oversight committee with experts in the matter that are going to be discussing every year the program of the exam. We also run survey, like has been presented by CFN and CCA, where, how do the job evolve in the field of risk management? What are 10 top tasks that people need to perform at? And so on. And we use this as a base for the exam. We also get together people that are certified to help us build in the question, to really have feedback. We have this group of discussion in different continents just to make sure that all these standards are very valuable at a global level. So we work on the curriculum design and make sure it's updated every year. But this is not only about the exam itself. So it's not you get your exam and you're done. The idea is to continue. It's a journey with us. So then you jump into your continuing professional education program, and the idea is really to keep yourself trained. So looking beyond the standards that you got through the exam, we look into what are the new emerging skills in your field, what are the complementary skills as well. Could be soft skills, could be parallel skills. So in risk management, for example, we see that soft skills needs to be strong or needs to be developed. We're going to see that IT skills can be one as well. So in many different areas. We also offer content that can be available locally and globally. The exam is mainly building global standards, but on the CPD program, we always look for local resources because regulation are different, for example, in different countries. And this is where also our certified would contribute. So this CPD program has different type of approach. It could be webinars, white paper, conference, volunteering. There are many ways for people to complete their CPD program. The last part is the community, and that's the main part of it. So you are really part of a community. The idea is to be sharing the knowledge, to learn from your peers, and also to have a commitment to your industry and really act according to this. So we run a number of different activities. It could be the alumni program. We have global risk forums at different levels, CROs level, some working groups at more specific tasks and different industry, asset management, banking. And we also have this ambassador program where we have some of our certified who have this role of really promoting the value of continuing professional education and risk practices. So as a conclusion, I wanted to show you an example. So this is the word, and we have two guests here. We have Maurizio and Vitaly. So Maurizio is FRM and Vitaly is FRM. Two of them. They are part of our 45,000 FRM worldwide. Maurizio is Italian. He works in London in model risk at Lloyds Bank. And Vitaly is from Kazakhstan and works in Russia as a CRO. So these two risk managers are really connected through our network. And what they share a common interest for risk management. They share the global standard because they have both taken the exam. They're going to be sharing this same community, the same language. We always say, this kind of certification helps you to speak the same language. And they really have an important role in helping the industry in building the future. There are some quotes that they are especially shared for today that you can have a look. But they really value the certification as helping them to build the best practices, to have a better understanding so they can go a step ahead and really be aligned with other people in the industry. And they all follow the CPD program.